Good afternoon. It's Thursday afternoon and welcome to Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona. I'm Sandy. If you haven't ever been here, welcome. I'm in my garden space. So I'm going to switch the camera around. And my raised beds, especially this one over here, those have been in the ground for about 2.5 weeks. They have really grown. In fact, they look like this when I planted them. That's a lot of growth, but the nights are pretty warm. Usually never below 55, 60 degrees. So we have cauliflowers, Brussels sprouts, broccolis, cabbages, and I have this section that I roped off with some yarn, put flowers around it and green onions around most of it. I added this ladder today because I am going to grow melons up it. And we planted cabbages today, both regular cabbages, red cabbages, bok choy. Look at here. Look at the zucchinis growing. Is that fun or what? But for the most part, I have the garden planted, except for this. I think I'm going to just grow up some peas on it. It's not that strong, but the peas will be fine. And over here, this used to be a clothesline. I added some sticks that we cut down anyway, some little trunks. And I have cucumbers and beans. Now the beans are those 1,500-year-old cave beans. They're black and white. But the Chinese cabbage is growing. My tiny, tiny tomatoes are growing bigger. Get down here, some Walla Walla onions. But there's celery and beets and Swiss chard and just a lot of things in here. It's a good little space. It's not that big. Definitely not as much garden space as I have back in Wyoming. But I wanted to just give you an update of the things I've been doing since I planted things today, watered it, added some fertilizer little pellet things. That's what the white that you can see on top, so that they'll just slowly dissolve. Joe's gonna chop up that's just plant material that I collected from all over the place. Let's go look at the bananas. Gotta get around my stuff here. We got cannas, we got somebody's garbage in there. Hollyhocks. That is lemongrass. Those are my banana trees. They're fabulous. But as you can see, it's not a bad little space. Lots of things. I didn't plant anything like radishes or carrots, though I brought the seeds down. I just didn't have the space I wanted to give up. I would have rather have cabbages, broccolis, Brussels sprouts, things like that, bok choys. And so that's what I chose to do. I actually have carrots coming up from last year, so they're going to make seed heads this year. And I'll save those. Those are over in the flower beds. But welcome to my Arizona garden. Now, of course, I have the fruit trees on the other side of the house. And today, in fact, I planted around the fruit trees because there's basins around it, and then it's kind of mounded up. So I thought I should plant some flowers. Should we go over there? Okay. Now basically in Wyoming, people have gravel. They don't have grass. This is Ellie's fruit tree. It's a grapefruit. And over here are my fruit trees. We planted them some last year and some the year before. They just got watered. This is my poor, I always want to say artichoke, but it's avocado. I cut it way down. It was dying back. I think it got too hot. But these ponderosa lemons, some of them are turning yellow. They weigh about 3 pounds. They are awesome. And there's some nasturtiums coming up all by themselves, and I whacked the basil down. I mean, it was huge. It just comes back, so I whacked it all down, and it's growing again. Of course, I have my little towers, my flower towers. But today I planted flowers all over around the fruit trees. Like this fruit tree has giant pansies all the way around. I love giant pansies. Who doesn't love that? That is beautiful. Another tower. This one has pansies, poppies, geraniums. They call this a wandering Jew. It'll survive all year round, and it basically eventually will go all the way around the fruit tree. And then I just have some flowers and some cactus. And then these two fruit trees, I did the snapdragons. So it goes yellow, red, all the way around. So that is the beginnings of my gardens. I have 7 towers with just flowers. Oh, look at that. I need to deadhead that. So it'll give me some more flowers. Yep, that'll be a job for later. And then over here, this is just the front of our house. I started digging holes. It was a little hard digging the holes, so I put water in them. Look at this. When I was digging that hole, this is what I found in there. That was interesting. But I see there's one over there, so I'm wondering if there's a walkway, and all of them are covered up, and there's a whole bunch of them. But what am I going to do in these holes? Well, I'm going to dig them a little deeper. I'm adding steer manure and compost, and I am growing pumpkins. Pumpkins and squash and watermelons. This is just my flower bed that has the banana trees. My roses are growing. This is what they call a popcorn bush. I don't know what the real name of it is, but that's what everybody calls them. But it makes little flowers that are kind of like kernels. It's huge. I planted seeds last year before we left. And I'm going to fertilize my bananas this week, and then I'm going to fertilize them every single month the whole time that we're here. I'm excited. Some Swiss chard that survived through the winter, or through the summer, 110 degrees. And look at this. This is an eggplant. Look at how big that is. That survived through the summer too. So I would guess now that it's cooler, it'll probably start setting some flowers. I'm excited. So see, this one hasn't drained all the way yet. But I'll let it sit overnight, and then I'm going to dig a little bit more and add the good stuff. But these are the plants I'm going to put in there. Like this is my giant pumpkin. There's 3 of them. And this is a French pumpkin. This one is just coming out. And this is a Hal's Jumbo Cantaloupe. That one's not up, that one's not up. And that watermelon is up. Lots of tomatoes to plant in pots. And there's onions and pansies, lettuce that I'm going to add different places, and some other Swiss chard. Another tomato. So, fun times. I hope you're having a great time. Let me switch again. There. I'm back on my patio in the shade. Right now it says it's about 72 degrees, so it is nice out today. Basically hardly any wind. So I'm going to do a little bit more planting and deadheading. I hope you have a great afternoon, and welcome to Thursday afternoon with Suburban Homesteader WY, Arizona. See you next time.